Na, sziasztok, én Fúriásznak, és ahogyan ígértem, visszajöttem, csak el akarok állítani gyors pár dolgot, mert ugyebár a játék, főleg ezért az eléggé tönkretett. Még így jó lesz, és pillanatot. Na, sziasztok, vissza is rakom magamat. Na, nézzük is. Ahogyan ígértem, most nem rakok fészkéket. Hogwartsnak az összefoglalóját fogjuk rakni. Még egyszer így elmondom dolgot, mert ugyebár február 7-én jelenik meg. És ugyebár február 7-én egy nyereményjáték is kezdetét veszi, egy Hogwarts Legacy-t nyerhettek. 7-én kezdem. Tervezek egy ilyen hosszabb streamet mindenképpen, és annak a folyamán fog ez a játék megvalósulni. Az, aki fogja figyelni, stb. Olyan esti tájékába fog kb. Lenni, hogy mindenki már addigra már hazaér, és stb. Szóval a tájból lesz ilyen estefele. Na, de nézzük. Én állítottam a dolgokat, és ugyebár elkezdjük az első. Érek be is állítom a karakter. Igen, egy pillanat. És stb. És állítottuk is. A hangos tudjatok. Így. Ugyebár itten majd a karakterral kezdik. Ebben a részben van, amikor a karaktert csinálják meg, hogy fog kinézni a karakter, stb. Ebben lesznek első olyan kisebb rész, hogy így bejárják a Hogwartsot, így megmutassák a másikba, majd már lesz röpülés, kombináció, harcrendszer.
Welcome to the first Hogwarts Legacy gameplay stream. I'm Chandler Wood, Community Manager here at Avalanche Software, and we've got a lot of really exciting stuff to show you today. But before we get into showing you the game and gameplay, I have a few wonderful guests that I need to introduce you to. First up, we have our community guest host. He brings you the latest and greatest in Hogwarts Legacy content. He's the local Merlin conspiracy theorist.
Guilty as charged, yes.
One half of Expecto Go, yeah. James Whitehead.
Thanks, Chandler. Yes, I'm James Whitehead of Expecto Go, bringing you guys the latest and greatest in Hogwarts Legacy content. And I am one half of Expecto Go, the other half, my wife Sue, represents that other half. So I'm excited to be here, and thank you, Avalanche Software, for inviting me. I cannot wait to go over this gameplay. I just got to say that.
Welcome, thank you for being here. And we've got two people from the studio, just two of the many people bringing this thing together, the magic of Hogwarts Legacy. Game director Alan 2.
Hello everyone.
And senior environment.
Majd lesz majd facecam is majd, csak most ezeknél nem akarom a ronda fejemet berakni. Nem majd lesz.
So what we're going to be showing you today, first the character creator, because it's your legacy, and you have to create yourself when you get into to get into Hogwarts and bring your whole self to Hogwarts. So we're going to show you that character creator, and we're going to dive into a tour of Hogwarts, and it is a small tour of Hogwarts, right? Because Hogwarts is huge. Hogwarts is really big. So we're going to be showing you a little bit, but it's still a lot. So, and finally, ending up with combat. A little taste of combat, a little taste of how all that works.
Let's go.
Just a little taste, yeah. So we're excited to get there. But again, first and foremost, we need to get into this character creator. And James, with you here, we wanted to let you create this character. So Andrew, who is going to be doing all of our gameplay capture today, is going to be handing you the controller.
Oh my gosh. All right, I won't break anything. All right, so what are we looking at?
Most a karaktert fogjuk összerakni.
A lot like other games, there's some initial settings that you can choose for your character that just kind of get them into like the ballpark of what you want to be, who you want to be, and what you want to change.
Oh man.
And then once you're in that ballpark, all the other tabs let you dial that in, be exactly who you want to be. It's our goal with this is to make sure that for anyone that fantasized about bringing themselves to the school for the very first time, that they feel like they have the options in order to represent who they are and essentially bring themselves to Hogwarts, or whatever character they want to bring to Hogwarts.
Oh my God, and options galore. Do you mind if I try to put myself in here right quick?
It's all about you
Okay,
today.
okay. All right. So, okay, yeah, that's me. We're here. That's me right there. All right, so let's.
Szóval lesz karakterváltozás, akármennyi, mennyit változtatok.
Okay,
You
let's
know,
go over
play
here.
around with some of these options, like really.
All right, so what are we looking at with this option over here with the tab? I see face stuff.
Ne legyen olyan hangos, na.
What you saw in the previous screen, all those faces are choices that you have here. So you can, now you're just kind of getting into the details in your face shape, in your skin color. And then because we knew a lot of people going right in are going to want it right away, even though it's an option later in the game, you can collect different types of glasses, put them on later. We give you some options right up front if you want to have glasses for your character.
Oh man, oh my gosh, look at the structure of the faces with this. Wow, you guys thought of crazy. I like that. I don't think my face is that skinny, but I think we'll go with that. I think we'll go that route. And down here is this.
Those are your glasses there. Yeah.
Oh, so we started. We could go Harry Potter if we want. Awesome job. Oh man, and this is just some of the options, I'm assuming.
Yeah, so through the course of the game, there's a lot of different options that you'll keep unlocking.
Okay.
So as part of kind of like gear for the character, there's lots of different classes. There's even masks. There's all kinds of things over the course of the game.
It's all Victorian era, though.
Yeah,
Like,
right
it's
up front.
very
Such a
authentic.
good call. Such a good call. Oh my gosh. All right, so now.
Úgy szabhatod a karaktert, ahogyan te szeretnéd. Rengeteg sok dolog van benne.
I spend a lot of time here just like dreaming about my different characters. And what
Oh
they're gonna
my
be
gosh, the pony. The thing I'm always amazed by whenever I see any aspects of Hogwarts Legacy's character creator is just the texture. And like you even adding the bounce with the hair moving around. Yo, that kind of looks like Hermione a little bit. I'm not even gonna just like Fred. I'm not Fred. And we can just go. Can I go like Tonks purple or green a little bit?
Absolutely.
Oh. Yo, this is so cool. Oh, I like that. That is cute. Oh, okay, so little behind the scenes. I used to have this type of hair like way back, but
was it purple?
I wanted silver tips, so that was the closest I got to any color. But oh my gosh, this is so cool. So you literally can bring yourself. Like it's a myriad of textures and different hairstyles here. All right, so now we're getting over here to play around with some of the.
These are more subtle options. We've
Okay.
got freckles, moles, different things like when it comes to your complexion, like darker eyes, maybe like some shading on the cheeks.
Oh man, you guys literally thought of everything with this.
I do have a bit of fun with that. And then the scars are one of those options where
Nekem ezt tetszik ez.
you know Harry had his own unique scar,
Yeah.
but you can come in with different
Yours.
scar options.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Ez olyan lupinos professzornak.
Oh, those are my favorite.
Ez jó.
Eyebrow
Yeah,
scars,
yeah,
love those.
yeah. You look kind
It's
of
a
like
classic.
yeah.
Ez se rossz.
You look kind of just like tough. But anyway, so now we're over here.
Mondjuk mindenképpen át akarom az összes házó vinni, szóval
Again, getting more subtle.
biztos, hogy lesznek benne mindenfajta karakterok, kinézetek.
Get your.
I don't know how revealing I want to be with my facial features now. Just like, yeah, I kind of have a big face. Yeah, my eyebrows kind of sit kind of low. But I mean, literally, you have so many options just starting the game. I feel like I'm going to be here like forever.
You and me both.
And then this final tab here, this is where you kind of bring your whole character together. You know, this is where you finalize everything. You're not choosing.
Nos, sokáig úgy volt, hogy ennél választunk házat, de mégse nem választunk. Ez egy jó oldás, hogy nem itt fog. Ugyebár itt megvan adva, hogy könnyű, story mode, normál, én a normálon fog.
Choosing your house here.
Okay.
That's not yet.
Almazni mindenképpen.
But you know, here's where you bring you choose voice 1 or voice 2, which is more kind of a masculine or a feminine voice, and then even within that, changing your pitch,
with
the pitch slider.
It's a subtle slider, but you can hear it.
Concerned about.
That was quite something.
And so you can kind of make out the differences. But yeah, you choose which kind of voice that you want. You'll be selecting your difficulty here. For today, we'll just go normal because Andrew's going to be taking us through some of the experiences with combat later.
And we can talk a little more about difficulty, yeah, with combat and how that plays in. But I think the important thing here is like if for people who aren't
Sokkal lesznek kihardó újak szerintem.
a way to get into this without being worried about like, oh, do I need to be good at games? Like, no, just enjoy this game.
And I would put expecto and then go. We're good. We're good. Awesome.
And then whether you want to be witch or wizard.
Amazing.
What do you think, character creator? We're good?
I'm good. Let's explore Hogwarts and let's get into some combat.
All right. Through the magic of using a dev kit, we're going to be loading up a save a little later in so that we can show you more about Hogwarts and give you that taste of combat. All right, Andrew's got some gameplay pulled up for us here. We are...
No, ez a ugrabugnak a találja, ezt tudjátok beaktiváltatni, hogy nektek is ilyen kinézetek. Minden egy egyes háznak van saját a kinézet, a Gryffindornek Gryffnon, Slytherinnek kígyó van, vagy hogy a Mardedekának kígyója van, Hollóhátnak hollója van itt. Wizarding Worldön csináltok egy akkontot, összekötitek a Hogwarts-os akkonttal. Avalanche-nál van külön a Hogwarts Legacy-nek egy fő oldala, ahol összekötitek, és azáltal elkezdődik a játék, és a kontotok össze van kötve. Automatikusan, ezt megkapjátok megkapjátok a pályát, azt jött, és a házat, amiben vagytok.
Starting out, James, there you are. You're wearing the House Fanatic robes from the account linking.
Thank you. I do look good. And this is our first look at the Hufflepuff common room, I'm assuming. I mean, dorm room.
The dorm room.
Yeah. This is awesome. But Alan, what are we seeing right here with the UI? Because this is our first look.
So right now, we know there's been a lot of questions about the HUD because this is the first time we're showing it. So kind of going over it from right to left, on the bottom right is what we call our spell diamond.
Mm-hmm.
So those are, everything that you see in it are slottable spells. So we have over 20 slottable spells that you can earn over the course of the game.
Okay.
And that's where the player can place them and use them and access them very quickly. To the top left of that is, you'll see the D-pad, and on the left is an eyeball, and on the right is a bit of a grid. So the eyeball is an example of one of, not a slottable spell, but what we call an essential spell. There are certain spells that are used in very specific contexts, or that we just want on the controller at all times. And Revelo is one of those. That's left on the D-pad. On the right on the D-pad is that grid represents where you might slot spells. And so right now, today, we're not going to be going into the spell slotting menu because we feel like there's a lot of spoilers there. You know, like what are all the spells and what can we do?
I would like spoilers, but I understand.
But we do want to make sure there's still some goodies left to share with everyone. And then on the left side, that thing that has the L1 button next to it, that's another thing where we don't want to spoil, but basically that's where you access your tool wheel. So there's a lot of magical tools that you're going to be kind of brewing and growing over the course of the game. And so that's where you would access them rapidly, is our tool wheel.
Okay, cool.
There are a few things that I left off the table on the right. The green bar is your health, and basically there's a potion next to it. That's how you might heal. The bar above it, we're keeping a secret for now. I apologize. And all the way on the left is our mini-map with a kind of overhead view of where you are currently in your common room that updates as you travel through Hogwarts and beyond, out into the world. And for those fans out there that aren't a huge fan of minimaps, because we know they exist, there's also options to remove the minimap and turn on or off different elements of our HUD.
Really immerse yourself.
And we'll go more into the spells as we get into combat, but that's kind of that's what you're seeing there. And this is our HUD.
Also, Andrew's giving us a good look over here. I want to call out. I'm a big fan of the bedside tables in the dormitories. Very nice bedside tables.
Spellek ezzel a szemmel ugyebár lesznek szutúrva scrollok, és ebben tudod majd use-olni. Ezek ugyebár a varázslatok lesznek ott, te összerakhatod összesen 4x4-eset, szóval lesz ilyen spell, váltakozhat ezekkel a jelekkel, lesz több fajta, azt majd a másik videóban lesz, hogy lássátok, hogy a egyik résznél máshogyan van ez kiosztva, a másik spellek már a tiltott átkok és majd rá. Potion-t ugyebár használtok. Van az, ami felgyorsítja a cooldownot, van az, ami nagyobb ellenállást ad, élet, oti. Ez ugyebár arra szolgál, ha ez itt megtelik kékkel, komplett az egész csík, akkor van még egy nagyobb varázslatotok. Azt hiszem 4 nagyobb, nem 5 map, ez ugyebár jelzi a questeket, stb. Merre vagytok dolgok. Azt, amit itten tudni kell, hogyha vesztek fel egy questet, elkezdi nektek mutatni, hogy merre kell menni. De hogyha vesztek fel egy másik questet, akkor azt, amit először vettetek fel, azt nem utassa, hanem rögtön a másikot fogja mutatni. Szóval a mappon azt fogjátok látni, azt a questot, az, amit felvettetek utoljára. Nem az, amit például elsőre és másodikra, például most vesztek fel, elkezdi mutatni, hanem az, amit másodszorra vettetek fel, mutatni.
Honey-colored wood was mentioned in the writing. It's part of lore.
It's part of lore. There we go. All right.
So now we're walking out into.
We really tried making these low-ceilinged dorms to give you that Badger set
Yeah.
sort of feel.
And the first thing I know is the music. The score is amazing with this.
Gorgeous.
And I'm calling out here, this is unique music that you're hearing for the Hufflepuff Common Room. Go back to those Common Room videos we released, you'll notice the music's a little bit different, and that is entirely intentional.
Ugyebár az, amiről beszéltem, hogy ezt majd use-olni kell, mert ugyebár ez fogja majd a exploration-öket adni, hogy ezt a területet bejártod, és még ugyebár ez lesz majd a fast travel point, hogy majd innen egyiktől a másikba majd fogtok tudni majd ugrálni, hopponálni, ahogyan a Harry Potter.
We just want to welcome you to your common room in every single house, just a little bit differently. Begin customizing that experience right away.
Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. Look at that.
So I mean, beautiful design. We could spend like the entire rest of the stream just in the common room here and talking about it, and I'm sure Boston and James could be like just geeking out over it.
All the details come from J.K. Rowling's writings for this common room. The round doors, the hanging vines.
Ugyebár azt, amit kell tudni, a Hugrabug, az föld. Gryffindor az tűz, Mardekár az víz, és a Raven, a Hollóhat az meg a szél.
We really leaned into that for each common room.
Wow.
So it feels earthy. We've got a little earthen passageway. That's what we were. Hopefully, it should feel very familiar.
Yeah, it does. It does.
But I know you don't want to leave, but we're gonna be leaving.
Thank you. I understand. Whoa, the sound of it though. Like
A hang is jó.
past trailers, it was just music, but kind of hearing how Hogwarts is now. So cool.
Very tactile.
Yeah.
Andrew's going to make use of one of our spells. Revelio.
Use Revelio right here, because there's a little magic going on.
You notice
Hát,
a little something there.
ezek a scrollok el lesznek szúrva szerkeszét a világba. Kisebb hanggal fogjátok tudni, vagy pedig szemmel is majd lehet látni, és ebben a spellel előhívjátok, és a XY-t összeszedtek, ezért is kaptuk XP-t, de hogyha XY-t összeszedtek, nem tudom mennyi van összesen, akkor egy ilyen nagy könyvet és egy külön questet majd.
Yeah. So these are something that we kind of interchangeably call Revelio pages or lore pages, and you'll notice a bunch of things pop up on the screen.
Yeah.
You see that we got some
XP.
XP for it, and you can also see that we've advanced something called like a field guide challenge up in the corner. So I want to talk about that a little bit. So we had to ask ourselves,
Continue, I'm sorry. Continue.
there may be something you may or may not be able to tickle there.
Yeah.
But in our game, we had to answer the question, you know, we're a late fifth year. What does that mean? How do we catch up to the other students?
Okay.
And so we have an answer to that question.
Kiviszót.
And it's given to you by the staff. So there's something that we call the Wizard's Field Guide that's granted to you early on in the game. And the Wizard's Field Guide is how you actually work on catching up with the other students. So Andrew, if you hit pause for me up here, before we push forward a little bit, you can see in our pause menu, it's got this book theme.
Wow.
That's your Wizard's Field Guide, and you can see your...
No, ugyebár nem elsősökként kell kezdünk, hanem 5 évesként, és ez a minisztériumból jött, ez nekünk majd segíteni fog, hogy nekünk osztálytársunkkal, hogy fő tudjunk zárkózni. Talentok ugyebár a storyból fog kapni, szóval rendesen, hogyha mész levelterre, rendesen kapod a pontokat, és csak a My Story-ba fogod majd kapni majd a dolgokat. Az, amit mondtam, lesz külön inventory, geared lesz, azt másik időben majd mondom, lesznek questek, map, az, amit mondtam, hogyha minden többet felfedeztek, arra is kaptok XP-t.
Or house kind of crest overlaid over it.
Okay,
Right? And you can see that on your level as well. So that the field guide has this magical property of looking out into the world around you. And the reason why it's on loan from the Ministry of Magic and the professors have granted it to you as a late 5th year student is because they want it to help you catch up to the other kids. And its magical property is
Éppen ostam mondja, hogy 5 éveseként, és kapjuk azt a segítséget, ezt a könyvet. Igen, február 7-én lesz egy ilyen Hogwarts Legacy nyereményjáték. Hallom. Egy játékot, Hogwarts Legacy játékot nyer.
Exploration challenges, and you can see field guide pages are on there as well.
Yeah, 1%. We unlock that one field guide page.
That entire category is one of the ways that the book itself kind of fills out into the school and spills out into the school and kind of hides itself with different types of challenges and different things to do around the school that you're actually going to interact with to help you grow as a wizard and practice your spells. And so that thing that we just saw is not just a field guide challenge and a way to earn XP. It's also something that that players can use to learn about the school as they're traveling around. They spot these little secret facts, and they can kind of play a little bit of a game, discovering all of them. And there are over 100 field guide pages just in Hogwarts alone. So.
Little glimpse of the grand staircase here. We're not gonna...
Szóval van itt, lesz mit fölfedezni. Nagyon is.
Just ignite right there, which was so cool.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Fast travel points there. House hourglasses. We had to. How much fun was it designing those and?
De ugyebár azt, amit tudni kell, a házponkozások nem fogják befolyásolni a játéknak a menetét, a sztorinak a menetét, szóval ebben nem kell foglalkozni. Itt is lesz egy kis papír. Lássátok?
We didn't turn it into like a gameplay system, but it's definitely present throughout our narrative. And there are lots of choices where we want to nod to things that aren't necessarily gameplay systems, but we nod to them as part of the narrative.
Over to the right there, Andrew was teasing. That's the Great Hall over through those doors. Again, we're not going there. He's just kind of like, no.
Cool.
De mint a design, a vár, igen tetszik, rohadt szép.
You know, just again showing you like just these things around Hogwarts that you can
80 XP.
do and pick up and.
That's a shot straight from the trailer too. Just that part right there. I recognize that.
We might be giving you a little fan service here with callbacks to those. So.
And this must be summertime because I noticed these are the summertime windows. These windows will change with the seasons.
Yeah, the detail they put in this is kind of it. I get surprised by it all the time.
That's a sentient magic castle. So.
Oh man. And we're going out. Look at that.
This is where the students would normally kind of congregate, just to kind of
Rohadt szép, nekem igen tetszik.
each other outside the Great Hall before and after.
Nem tudom, hogy nektek hogy adja, én most képernyőn nézem.
That when the castle interconnects to, that it interconnects outside, inside. There are pathways on both sides of things, so you really get a sense of scope to how big this castle is.
And when you see things like you'll notice a bridge over there. That's a place you can go to and cross. Like everything that you see is a place that you can visit.
Majd a másik videóban röpülni is fogunk, majd az több lesz minden az eső.
And this castle's been here for hundreds of years, so just kind of the moss and all the trees that have overgrown it, and
oh my gosh,
that landscape, that Scottish.
This location might look a little familiar to you.
I thought I recognized it. I believe
Mindjárt mutatok.
from the spring
Lesznek a Hogwartsból ilyen puzzle játékok. Itt van az első, hogy bizonyos sorrendbe kell majd ezeket majd use-olnod, hogy ez itt kinyíljon.
And yes, so that puzzle right there, that view, Andrew is taking us right back to
I am going to tell Andrew not to interact with that puzzle and to keep moving on.
No.
We can't spoil everything. We can't give you everything, right?
Hogwarts contains a lot of secrets.
Szóval az, amit tetszik is az egészbe, hogy nem csak questek lesznek, de quest mellett lesznek, hogy fedez föl ezt, fedez föl azt, és akkor kapsz plusz dolgokat.
Yeah, we're coming upon the central hall, and we pointed out the greenhouse outside, and we'll notice when we get down there.
Arkány.
This is a big hub of the school. Like it's a big castle, but it is designed so you shouldn't get very lost. This is kind of a grand central station.
I love that. I love
Each
that.
direction, you know, it's green over there, so the greenhouse is over there. Transfiguration courtyard, you know, the library straight ahead. So it's kind of the hub of a lot of the castle.
What the fuck?
Visually, you can just tell. Okay, green,
Oh, green, go that way.
Oh my god.
A lot of it'll be subconscious, but
Yeah.
it'll help you really learn the castle and feel like you know your way around.
That's not to say that it's easy to learn. All of us here still get pretty lost in it,
It
on a
is a
daily
castle.
basis. It's a castle.
Great point.
I love that Andrew's definitely teasing a lot of things here. I'm noticing he's swinging the camera this way and that.
Yeah.
He's got this grin on his face over there that's just like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm
from the reveal trailer. There's that dragon. Oh my god.
This is another location where the students will gather, you know, and just kind of chill out.
And an opportunity.
Ebben jelöli a questet, vagy pedig van mind quest és van side questek. Vannak elég küldetések, az amik adnak hint, de viszont lesznek olyanok, mit erősíteni fogják a varázslatot neked. Például szóval nem mindegy, hogy csinálod a side questeket is, vagy a mind questek is. Szóval az, amit tudni kell róla, ha te elkezded csinálni a mellékküldetéseket, nem kell attól félned, hogy eltérsz a főkülditű, csak több szállat fog kinyitni, és ugyan mondjam, más dolgokat is meg fogsz tudni a játékról, szóval lesznek, akik csak a sztorit fogják vinni, az, aki a mellékküldikét kiállokolnak egyet, kapsz egy spelt, stb. Amint a spelt állokoltad, kinyílik egy mellékküldés. Szóval lesznek bizonyos varázslatok, amivel állokkolsz mellékküldikét, és az ad neked plusz kinézete, erősebb varázslatot tovább fejleszteni, mert ugyebár a varázslatokat tovább fejleszteni is.
To talk to somebody, get a quest giver here.
Is everything all right?
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm Nellie, by the way. I'm just so excited that the Daedalian keys are back.
The what keys?
The Daedalian keys. Surely you've seen them flying about. Rumour is that a former headmistress, Professor Mole, conjured them to protect the contents of certain locked cabinets years ago. Professor Black couldn't be bothered to disenchant the keys, and they appear every few years. You should try to catch one.
Why would I do that?
Szóval azért is, hogyha elkezditek a játékot, nem kell túl félni, mint a sok játékokban, hogy a mellékküldetésekkel el fogsz menni a fő küldetőt, nem. Csak több ablakot nyitsz ki, több ajtót, máshogy abban fog a másodabban lesznek a dolgaid, szélesebb körülben fogod látni, mert ez például elküld téged ide, oda jobb dolgaid lesznek.
Each key will lead you to a locked cabinet somewhere in the castle. If you can manage to get the key into the cabinet lock, not an easy task, you may find a reward.
Perhaps I'll give it a go.
I hope you do. In fact, I think I heard one of the keys in the astronomy tower. You should listen for them.
So those kind of side quests are really, it's a cool way to interact with your fellow students, with perhaps other teachers, with, you know, various things like that, as well as teach you some more of the secrets of Hogwarts, I think. There's a little bit of that.
Absolutely. Yeah. So the students are a way to kind of like flesh out the school opportunities around it, what we can do, and then those interactions different interactions with different characters can also offer different
Itten
choices to the player, and then some of
jelöli a
those things can affect things game wide. Some of these affect characters' lives, the ending of the game.
And sometimes it's just about you being a little bit of a
Sometimes
nice
just about
guy
the
or just
mission.
being a jerk.
Yes, absolutely. So the scale really varies, but those opportunities exist for the player.
Wow, look at this.
This is the Dada Defense Against the Dark Arts Tower, which this is one of my favorite locations in
nekem is
the castle. Just visually, you come in here.
igen szépen lehetne meg.
The richness
It
of
is
this area
very
is
iconic, very unique to anywhere else in the castle.
somebody else that we can talk to, notably a young.
Amikor ez a jel előjön, akkor autosave van benne.
11-year-old.
Are you all right?
Don't you know who I am? Zenobia Noak, the girl whom everyone at school
És
hates for no
és ha
reason.
halljátok, akkor visszhangzik a terembe, ahogyan beszélnek, el is rohadt jól.
Everyone hates you. Why?
Because Hogwarts is full of bullies and spoilsports. Leander Pruitt's one of the worst, that no-talent moon mind. I wanted to make some new friends, and so I brought my collection down to the common room. My gobstone collection, that is. I was hoping someone would want to play. Are you familiar with gobstones? Little balls, like marbles. Grand game. And if you lose, they spray you with a foul-smelling liquid.
I haven't much interest in a game that sprays you with odors.
Only if you lose, which I never do. Or at least, not often. People can be so cruel. Just because they're sprayed all over with smelly gobstone spit, it's their own fault for losing. Imelda is one of the worst losers. Everett and Astoria are terrible as well. And now those poor losers have taken my gobstones and hidden them in very high places all over the school.
Sounds as if you caused the smelly situation and they responded accordingly.
I didn't make the rules. Anyway, I can't work out how to get them back on my own. I don't think I know the necessary spells yet. I need someone, perhaps a selfless and talented fifth year to help me.
I'll see what I can do.
I'd appreciate the help. If you do find all of my gobstones, do come and see me again. I'll be back to playing Snake Pit and Jackstone by myself in no time.
I love that interaction with her because there's so many ways that you can
Autosave.
go with that. You can feel
És
for
már,
her,
hogyha
you can
megnézitek,
engage her, you can be like,
már a másik, az, amit most vett föl, már azt a questet, nem a elsőt, hanem ezt, de itten, majd tudjátok majd cserégetni, hogy melyik questet.
Gobstone sounds awful. It sounds like you're just mean. Like
Yeah, and your opportunities to be mean there aren't over. So,
they continue.
that's a good example of the
Gobstones too. I know people are gonna ask. Gobstones playable? They mentioned it, right?
Yeah. Gobstones is one of the things that is not playable in the game. I know we've had to rip the Band-Aid off on a few things. Honestly, it's an amazing thing on the franchise how many things about this like speak to us as fans and that we want to
Várhatok
the gameplay.
kivédés, azt majd itt fogjuk tanulni.
Kind of like which things we will and won't include in the bucket, just kind of for the overall help of
Wizard's
the thing.
chest.
Those are things that aren't featured.
Yeah. They're featured within the world. Right?
I'm glad they're mentioned. They're a part of the wizarding world.
Yeah. Every single time
Part of
there was something that
students'
we regretted because we couldn't include it. We also tried to figure out a way to make sure that it was included in the narrative, included in the stories, make sure that there's a way to kind of like acknowledge it, touch it, you know, and make it feel like it's definitely part of the world.
And I know here too, we're like,
I was like, we're in the Defense Against the Dark Arts class. I recognize that staircase to the left where we were just at. Andrew was walking by. I also recognize the dragon at the very top. Oh my gosh.
Being in a classroom, I think this is a good opportunity to talk about how classes work because we've gotten a lot of questions about that. Is it a schedule-based system? Is it so tell us how classes work?
Yeah, so ultimately decided not to go the sim route. So I think like one of the speculations was, is there time of day you know, that kind of thing. Like, can I miss class at this time of day?
There is a day-night cycle.
Yeah, there is a day-night cycle, but everything is very narrative-based, and so there's a big mystery going on in the world. There's something happening in the narrative, and we essentially see it as kind of like chapters in that narrative.
Ugyebár az, amit,
Which has a set of missions.
ugyebár azt, amit tudni kell, a küldinél 3 fajta választok lehetsz neutrális, lehetsz jó, és lehet ilyen negatív. Az, amit tetszik, szóval nem minden egyes kezdés más embernek máshogyan fog kijönni a sztori. Nem mindegy, hogy itt hogyan válaszolsz, vagy ott ugyebár minden egyes háznak, ezt külön-külön mondjuk úgy, hogy fő emberekkel nem mindegy, hogy iszonyulni.
Missions that you can choose between as you're progressing through the game, and classes fit within that structure. So there are mainline things that the players have to do, and then classes also appear on the sides as well as optional things that help you advance your spells. It's absolutely true that
érdekes, hogy berakták a vulkányégetést.
Spells, your major abilities, you get to know the professors. Each one of them has these bespoke kind of events and moments in those missions, and then there are also additional opportunities outside of that through kind of like side classroom missions, essentially, where you can learn additional spells or things that you need in your adventure, and also get to know the professors better.
And I just want to call out something that Andrew's been kind of showing off, ways to kind of interact with the environment and just engage with the world, and you know, maybe.
Én majd erre leszek kíváncsi, mert a nyakamat rákezdem rá, hogy ez egy bizonyos időszakban egy quest-tel itt majd valami majd elő fog.
Who's sipping some tea with the
Victorian high, you know,
high society.
High society.
I just no wonder you like this area because we built it for like the purebloods and the Slytherins.
Oh, come on.
Well, like speaking of lived in, like
mondom, a pálya az rohadtul.
Communication is happening and the footsteps, like it just makes it feel more alive.
Little events like that, the brooms going
I
by
just saw
overhead.
a broom go by. Love that.
Sokan el voltak akadva, túl ilyen sötét a vár, sötét a hely, hát egy várról beszélünk, az sohasem lesz nektek világos.
Help you not get lost, but this is Hesperus Hall. That's a little nod from the Marauders, a name that came from the Marauders map. But every hallway will have a little bit of a different personality and.
Personality, I like that because it does like Hogwarts has character. Hogwarts is its own character. No
majd itt lesz egy dolog, mindjárt.
Feels just a little.
Lássátok, lesznek bizonyos dolgok, bizonyos mágiák, bizonyos helyek, ahol csak bizonyos levelnél fogod tudni majd vagy kinyitni, vagy bemenni, vagy megkapni rá a dolgokat. Ez is nekem rohadtul. Egy bizonyos szintet el kell érned, ezt úgy kell menni, és ugyebár úgy, mint a filmben volt, hogy az elsősök nem mehettek, mert még azt nem tanulták, stb. És ez rohadt tetszett.
A little bit different.
Yeah. It's a sentient castle full of magic for hundreds of years. It's going to kind of grow and develop. Oh, I heard something.
Yeah. Speaking of characters.
Speaking of magic. Mr. Magic himself.
My future poltergeist too.
You know, we talked about building on lore too. I know there's that statue over to the side. That's.
Do you know who that is?
Lachlan the Lanky, and he's got his Bowtruckle friend, and I think if players
Itt
don't
is
know,
volt egy
Revelio page there.
Yeah, there's a map of Argyllshire. We know the fat lady hides there.
Hides behind it. That's right.
The third book. But sometimes a hallway has personality how it looks, or we just passed a music hallway where the portraits have kind of taken it over, and so the sound makes it really unique.
All right, I got to call this out here. I know there's been some criticism in the past that our trailers and our gameplay and what we've shown so far has not had enough owls.
That's it.
So here we are at the owlry. We're looking directly at the owlry.
Ugyebár mink most itt vagyunk, de a másik időben már leszünk komplet arra. Ettől jobban.
I love the fog rolling down that.
Great callback. Great call.
No, I also love that as one of my favorite things about just kind of going around on the outside of the school is that all those things that I see are places that I can go to, that I can visit. I just love that sensation knowing that that is real.
That lovely Scottish countryside.
We're kind of closing out our mini tour of Hogwarts, and again, it was but a fraction of this enormous castle. But we're closing it out here in the clock tower, so another recognizable location. But this is where Crossed Wands, which is the secret, not so secret dueling club, is that the students have put together. Professors definitely know about it, but they think they're being clever. And it's run by this Lucan Brattleby here,
who's in a younger year, but we kind of like that that he's running things.
Hello, Lucan. May I use the training dummy?
Of course. I'll fetch it and give you a list of combinations to practice. Ready to have a try now?
That would be wonderful.
Be sure to cast all your spells before the dummy lands. If you need to stop practicing before you finish all of them, let me know.
And this is a really good opportunity to now jump into combat, because really in the game this is going to be the first time where you yourself get to learn about combat and combos in a big way and in a new way. For me personally, this was where the game like
tetszik, hogy ha varázsolsz, akkor össze-vissza nem varázsolsz, hanem összpontosítanod kell arra, az nekem rohadtul tetszik.
An activity where you're supposed to execute according to kind of the iconography on the top. Now, what we see on the top is the Accio spell, followed by 4 what we just kind of lovingly refer to as basic shots. There's certain spells what the wizards kind of like use, just kind of fling. Andrew's using one now. And you trigger that by tapping R2 on your controller. So you can see in the corner R2. So if you tap R2, that throws out a basic shot. But that R2 is also your gateway to all of the spells that you might slot. So if you hold R2 instead, you can see how the diamond expands. And if we let go, you see how it contracts. Yeah. And so if you hold it again, it expands. And so when it expands, the spells that you slotted while you're holding that button can now be tapped with your face buttons.
Awesome.
And not only that, but over the course of the game, you can gain additional spell diamonds, up to 4 additional ones, so that you can slot up to 16 spells, pretty much instantly. And then that helped us fulfill the fantasy of in combat, I need to be able to access things very rapidly. Yeah. And so you learn over the course of these events, how to juggle not just the spell casting, but also it reinforces an understanding of another feature of the wheel, which is their cooldowns. So as you're casting spells, just to make sure that you're not just kind of like repeatedly using one thing over and over and over again, you can see cooldowns on the spells that he's using on the wheel. And then as you progress through the game, there are different things that can affect things, like cooldowns through your talents, different things that allow you to kind of like juggle and adjust and update those things. And so if you hold down R2 and you tap the D-pad, it will switch between your other diamonds if you've unlocked them, and that's how you access all those.
Oh man, it looks like we're about to get some action over here.
Yeah, so this is a great way to kind of learn how to pull things together,
so you
pull those combos together.
Here. Yeah. Tap, Accio, tap, tap, tap. Awesome.
De itten olyan érdekesnek még néz ki, de a következő videónál a harc sokkal jobb lesz.
Thank you, Lucan.
I say better to discover one's weaknesses during practice than during a duel. You'll be a fearsome challenger now.
I think now we can take on something a little more
Ezért is kapsz XP-t is, és ugyebár a könyvben volt, hogy a Combat Challenge, no, ezek lesznek.
Why, yes it is. I've got a great match lined up. Ready for another round?
We're on a PS5 dev kit here, so we're going to be able to kind of pause the action and talk about what you're seeing on the screen, because there is about to be a lot going on.
Itten választhatsz, pillanat. Natasha, ez a Gryffindornek a főembere, ez Mordecai.
You want to fight with somebody else, some of your classmates, but in this case we're not. We want
és ugyebár tolójáték az egész, de viszont az, akit választó léd, a fő emberek közül a 4 házból, akkor azok majd segíteni majd fognak valahol harcolni is neked.
So I can explain this just because I know people are going to go into it, but we can probably just kind of jump in. You're not the only one that has Protego and the ability to deflect. The enemies do too.
Ahol lássátok, hogy ilyen lilávú van ez a buborék, csak a lila spellek tudjátok megsemmisíteni, ahol sárgávú van, a sárgávú tudjátok. Egyetlen egy, vagy 3 olyan varázslat van még, mindegy, hogy milyen buborékban áttöri, az a 3, az a tiltott átok.
And we actually play with that when it comes to the spell casting. So you notice that there are different kind of shields.
Azok törnek minden shieldet.
So to help players understand kind of like the function.
Ez ami a fejetéknél megjelenik, így lehet megoldva az, ha megjelenik, olyan, mint most egyik azt tudod, hogy a pókembert, a pókszenzor, hogy valahonnan téged egy sebzés fog érni, ezáltal te már rögtön tudsz vagy pajzsotra rakni, vagy pedig visszaverni és rögtön varázsol.
Other spells, we're trying to put them in brackets. So there are damage spells, there are force spells, there are.
És ugyebár mindent kombinációt csináltak, annál jobban fog ez menni.
They wind up also being a color indicator for which actual spell to use to break the different shields that enemies can use. That way it rewards kind of like that close attention that you're paying on things.
We've got this paused here now, and you can kind of see all the elements on the screen, the halo around the avatar's head, each of the different shields, to kind of give us a breakdown of what's going on.
Give us a breakdown of different things that you're saying. So you notice at the top that we're kind of like calling out which enemy you currently have targeted and their level and health, and so you know as you target different characters, you'll be able to get that breakdown. The halo over your head, whenever an enemy is about to an attack, it's almost like you have a little bit of a sixth sense for those things that are coming. If you see the halo, it means there's an incoming attack, and if you tap the triangle button by default, then that you'll be able to deflect that attack that comes in and off with Protego.
And I love that deflect where it goes off and like hits things up and kind of breaks things off walls too.
But also, if you hold the button, then it doesn't just deflect. It also deflects and turns around with a counter attack stupefy that actually stuns the enemy. And you can use that even in your combos and stuff. So if you're focused on a character, you know, and you're doing your thing, and someone else attacks you, you can actually turn that attack to attack on the person that you're comboing.
Back into gameplay here, Andrew's.
Tehát ugyebár lássátok, hogy lila uboréka volt, a lila uborékot csak is a lila varázslottal tudjátok megsemmisíteni, kivéve ha meg lesz a 3 tiltott átakat, az mindenen átmegy, és tudjátok használni még a mellettetek lévő dolgokat is dobni.
Pretty handily finish these other students off here.
Igen. Megint mit csináltam rosszul, ma mondjad?
Yeah, we really felt like the in the movies there's almost like a it's kind of like a there's this element of kind of like fencing from a very great distance.
That's such a good call.
And there are a lot of things that we had to do with our controls and combat system in order to kind of capitalize on that.
Valami komoly
Well, perhaps you should try that next time.
verekedés is lesz.
The other duelists have already taken notice of you, but after that last round,
Okay.
they'll really have it in for you. You'd better keep practicing if you want a chance at winning, or at least surviving the next round. I'll let you know when we're ready. Hope to see you then. The next round is for all the gobstones, so to speak.
And that is more or less going to wrap it up for us for now, for what we wanted to show you. Character creator, tour of Hogwarts.
Ezután ráérek, hogyha gondolod, beszélhetünk.
We didn't want to leave you without maybe a little taste of something that
még egy videó még lesz, és aztán, ha gondolod, beszélhetünk.
Going out here.
More owls confirmed.
Owl mail. There's the owlery again. Yes, all of the owls.
But
yeah, just heading out here again to show you, like, from Hogwarts, to the world beyond Hogwarts. And
oh man,
this is not somewhere where we're going today, but we will definitely be taking you in the future.
oh my
A little glimpse at the scale of the castle back there. All right, so we're gonna wrap things up here, but I hope you guys have enjoyed everything that you've seen, but I think, James...
Rakom rögtön. Halljatok ők. Ez a videó után, Dávid, hogyha itt vagy, akkor beszélhetünk majd.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Hogwarts Legacy Gameplay Showcase. I'm Chandler Wood, Community Manager here at Avalanche Software, and I'm honored to introduce you to our panel today. First up, we have community guest host, Ben Snow.
Oh my god, I can't believe this is happening. Thank you so much for having me.
Már kezdik félni.
Avalanche team, we have game director Alan Tu.
Hello everybody.
And systems designer Mackenzie Toner.
Hi.
And finally, just off-screen capturing gameplay for us, Andrew Coram.
Hát tőled én mindig félek.
Today we'll be giving you a taste of the open world via broom flight, a deep
Amúgy elértem a 56-ot.
arena, and a look at your personalizable home within Hogwarts, the Room of Requirement, where we may even see some beasts. And we're starting right where we left off in our last gameplay showcase, just outside Hogwarts.
Nekem ez a rész, amikor röpül ez a táj, engem ez ami úgy, hogy muszáj röpülnöm és kipróbálnom. Na, GG. Az jó.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of just being able to hop on the broom and go anywhere. There's something about kind of like the sensation of everything being open to you and just
happy.
that I can get to things.
Nekem már
flying close to the ground.
Ez amikor így meglátod, így elkezded.
I kind of wanted to talk about it just because I feel.
Na, ez a egyik, itten is kaphatsz questet, és ez még ez dungeon lesz, de viszont van egy másik fajta így jel is, az a kriptáknál van, de ez dungeon lesz. Látom.
You know, the brooms are fun for me not just because of all those feelings of exhilaration, but because they're not just I have a broom and it's done. I actually kind of like some of the mechanics in it. So you see in the lower right there's a meter there, and occasionally as Andrew's kind of flying up or flying down, you might notice it draining or not. And
nem tudom, hogy mennyire szép a kép, vagy hogyan én, ugyebár én nagy tévén nézem, én nekem nagyobb felbontásban van. Rohadt jó.
I'm just so speechless right now.
Okay.
It's just so beautiful. The world just looks so. By the way, the broom, is that like the only one, or can you like upgrade that broom?
Több fajta seprűtök majd lesz, de azt is majd a Roxmorsba majd fogjátok majd vásárolni. Lesz játékbeli pénz.
But if you talk to the shopkeep and help him out, he'll actually sell upgrades.
Yeah, and those upgrades will make it so that where normally the broom you can only fly, you can only go at max speed. It's kind of like a turbo meter down there. You can only go at max speed without the meter going down, kind of closer to the ground. And as you raise into the air, you'll notice the meter drop. And so those upgrades will allow you to increase that distance from the ground.
Az a táj, az mindent visz.
The broom owner at the sporting goods store in Hogsmeade is trying to perfect the broom and get better at it and know it better, and you can participate that and get better and better brooms through that.
I see.
And I love that mechanic encourages you to actually explore the world and kind of stay close to the ground. It's not just a travel mechanic, point A to point B. You're not just flying high over everything. Although it is beautiful, something I really love doing, but as well, there's lots to explore on the ground, and so kind of keeping you down at the ground level.
And to me, it feels like it's got this kind of surfing vibe over the.
Oh my God, like I'm just like I want to snatch the controller from Andrew right now because I want to go to the mountaintop, I'm going to that forest and to that hamlet, or well I don't know if that's how it's called. I think that's what it is.
No, it's awesome. We're actually gonna land here, and I feel like that you call it a hamlet is just perfect, just because that's what we refer to it as, and so. We all know from lore that Hogsmeade is the only all-wizarding village within Britain, but we wanted other opportunities to kind of meet other characters out here and to kind of populate the landscape, so it's not just kind of, barren as you leave out this direction and that direction. And so we just imagine these different dwellings, these different smaller locations that wizards might live in out in the Scottish Highlands. And so it's those. And so we refer to those as hamlets, and they're opportunities to learn those wizard stories, how those different locations have kind of like learned to live, what their relationships are with characters at Hogsmeade and Hogwarts. And so they're both quest opportunities out here.
Mindjárt mutatok valamit.
Get to know more of the area, even beyond Hogwarts.
Lesznek helyek, lesznek ajtók, lesznek erdőbe elrejtett ládák, stb. És ilyen fénnyel fognak villogni. Ennél, hogyha közelebb mész, akkor ottan fogja majd írni nektek, hogy XY levelnél tudod kinyitni, vagy pedig kell hozzá varázslat.
Hogsmeade that we've already experienced, and you'll also notice on the minimap like lots of little icons, and each one of those represent gameplay in the hamlets that you can participate in, whether it's a vendor or different puzzles and challenges or different secrets that exist. Each one of those icons are different opportunities for gameplay, and you'll notice that same thing as we venture out into the open world as well. So when you go out into the open world and you see those icons, whether they're on the minimap or on your map or off in the distance, those things are opportunities to say, like, I want to increase my inventory capacity. They're puzzles left behind by old wizards, that you can solve that actually grant you those. If you see ruins off.
De mondjuk ez a bőrkabát is rohadt jól van megcsinálva. Olyan picinkót, nem David bácsi, egy picinkót olyan Red Dead Redemption-re hasonlít ez a kabát.
Might be hoarding different magical resources that are valuable to you as you're playing the game. So each one has kind of like a way to connect to our gameplay loops and provide different opportunities that just kind of reward you for poking around.
I mean, I right away want to just cover all of those points on the map just by going over there.
Well, we've flown on a broom already, but there is something that we haven't done so far, and that is getting on our flying mount. We're going to hop on our Onyx Hippogriff here. The Onyx Hippogriff is our pre-
Ez igen szép lesz.
Oh my God, there he just like pops out of the bag. Oh wait, you can use it as
az, amit tudni kell, mert sokan keverik, ezt a griffet nem a deluxe-ba kapod meg, hanem előrendeled. Az mindegy, hogy most deluxe vagy standardot, hogyha előrendeled, akkor kapod meg ez összes a normális deluxe vagy bármi, akkor is megkapod, ha egyszerűt fogod előrendelni, de előrendelőbe kapod ezt meg, ezt a feketét.
Yeah, it really is kind of like I don't know, it's a great feeling being on it, and it's a great feeling managing those transitions, kind of going from run to fly and just being able to go wherever you want. And we tried to make sure that each one of these things that you can interact with have a unique identity and a reason for being.
And oh my God, like I see like different like areas, like a swampy area. By the way, can you go to like entire map anywhere you go? There are regions that are like locked from you?
Yeah, as soon as you, there's kind of a moment where the world kind of opens up to you outside of Hogwarts as a student, and right from that moment, early on in the game, you can go wherever you want. And so you might find more difficult challenges in different areas, and you'll see different spots as Andrew's moving around, like you mentioned the swamp. But there, we have got like a coast.
Volt itt egy tapmancs, az egy csodálatos lémolvas, hogy azt be tudod majd fogni majd.
Pepper your experience, reward you for exploring, keep things fresh. All those things exist as we're moving around.
So cool. I love that windmill. It's like so rustic. Like I can't
Mondom, rohadt szép. Ez így, hogyan röpülés, minden ilyen.
So authentic, like it's part of it.
Yeah, I love this vista too, and
rohadt jól néz ki.
Engem
kilóra megfogott már ez.
covered in snow.
Yes, 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 please.
Nem tudom, hogy ki hogy van vele, de engem nagyon is. És ez a havastáj, ah!
This is so beautiful, oh my goodness. This is so pretty, okay, it looks so realistic. Oh my god, it changes the landscape like completely. Oh my god, does it have like actual like gameplay impact? Like impact on the gameplay? Or does it like it's just the weather of Scotland?
Yeah, we really use it as a narrative marker through the game. So as you're progressing through your main storyline, it was important for us to kind of like have those moments that kind of felt like when you're reading the books or watching the movies where you know you see the title card winter and now the landscape has changed and you're really feeling that passage of time while you're a student, you know, going through your year at Hogwarts. And I think we wanted to duplicate that, and for me it's really fun that it's not just on the outside, which I agree, I think it works.
Desert az jó lesz.
But within the school as well. So there are moments like when it reaches certain holidays or things like that, where Hogsmeade reacts to holidays and the school reacts to holidays, and you see the decorations around those environments change. That really helped just kind of make me feel like I'm there.
Right.
Yeah. And it's not just you know for the seasons, those kind of vibe things.
Hogy vagy főkészülve?
And that day-night cycle, even though similarly, like it's largely outside, when you're going to Hogsmeade in the evening, there's less characters there. Around the school, you'll notice it kind of dies down and quiets down. Just when there's just candlelight and students.
Ez a táj, amikor látod Oxfordot, és ez a táj, ah.
A few items where, you know, whether or not you can collect them or whether or not you can interact with them that are a little bit restricted by the day-night cycle.
And I love Andrew's flying up here, really high up on the hippogriff, and just looking at this.
Az, amit majd ki fogok próbálni, az biztos, ha már fogok tudni röpülni. Vannak ilyen hegyek, és föl fogok röpülni, hogy meddig engedi egyáltalán, hogy lesz ilyen burok, hogy ettől eddig tudsz csak röpülni, arra rohadtul kíváncsi.
It's just absolutely beautiful. It's part of what I love most about flying around in this game, whether it's on a hippogriff or on the broom.
No, I mean, you talk about going anywhere and things that you can see in the distance, and that's one of my. I still can't get over, like, no matter, I play this so much, but I still can't get over the fact that I can see Hogwarts out there, and there's just something beautiful about knowing that all of the things inside of it, the classrooms, the students, the professors, all the places I can go, I can just fly my hippogriff, land in the courtyard, enter the front doors, and just walk, you know, to the library, to class, or to greenhouse, or to my common room, that it's all contiguous.
Nektek hogy tetszik a játék idáig, így a kép még minden?
I'm speechless right now. Just absolutely.
Én nekem rohadtul szép.
As much as we want to spend a lot more time out here just flying around, experiencing the world, I think this is a great opportunity to switch over to combat. And last time we gave you kind of an intro to combat. This time we're going to really go a lot more of a deep dive on using the Dark Arts Battle Arena, which is part of our deluxe edition. All right, Andrew's got us Amy Forbidden Sword.
Akkor kapjátok meg ezt a ruhát, hogyha a Deluxe Edition-t, a digitál vagy a rendeset veszitek meg ezt, és a Testral montot, és a 72 órában hamarabb játszod. Ezt. Ez is ám jó, hogy a koponyák így mozognak, rohadt jó. De ezt csak akkor fogom hordani, hogyha majd, ha átvittem a jóval a történelmet.
He's also wearing the Dark Arts cosmetic set, and here he's pulling out the Thestral, which is part of that Dark Arts pack from the Deluxe and Digital Deluxe edition. So we're going full Dark Arts here.
That's good, that's what I going down.
Testral montot csak is a Digitalba, vagyis hogy a Deluxe-ba és a Collection-be kapod meg azt a Testral montot, máshogyan nem tudod megkapni. És a másik még annyival másokba a Deluxe Edition és a Collection Edition a standardú, hogy a standardban is lesz Battle arénátok, de csak 2. A többibe még, ha jól tudom, 6 vagy 7, olyan úgy, hogy több lesz mindenképpen.
In the case of that's no different than the Dark Arts Battle Arena. That's also true, the combat arena. But one of the things that we're excited about in the Dark Arts Battle Arena that people can do is you come in preloaded with different abilities. So the unforgivable curses are something that everyone's going to have access to through the base game and going to be able to earn, and they can make.
Az azért lesz itt varázslat, ha így lássátok.
You can also commit to that down with certain talents and things like that. When you play the Dark Arts Combat Arena, you actually have access to all those things.
És ugyebár ezeket még majd fejleszted, még a talenttal, szóval rohadtul várom.
Whether or not that is a path that you kind of want to go down. But yeah, everyone has the same ability to explore the Dark Arts. This is just kind of like a way of previewing.
And again, a great place.
Ez azt jelenti, hogy itt nem tudsz röpülni, szóval nem tudsz se griffet, se más vinni.
Everything you're seeing on the screen.
All right.
A vada, az.
Right away. Oh my God.
We're starting off strong.
Crucio, az.
Was that Crucio? Oh my God.
És a Imperio.
Yeah, so that you'll notice right away, like when we used Avada Kedavra, that guy's health bar went from instant to 0, and we really are trying to.
Lássátok, és itten közben lehet cserélgetni.
You'll notice that like the meter takes up
16 varázslatot tudsz használni, ha úgy osztod szét. Szóval én rohadtul kíváncsi leszek én majd a kombinációkra, mert...
Like I see like little blue things pop up from the enemies. Also, like that sign, well, it's like, so in the community we call it the ancient magic sign. I don't know if that's how it's called in the game.
So the community is astute. So on the development side and in player facing in the game.
Szerintem az embereknek a 90% Cruciót fogja csinálni állandóan.
You become exposed to some of the secrets about your own kind of mystery and your own abilities. You start unlocking new powers. So one of those powers, you'll see the R1 button appearing throughout the game. That's an ancient magic throw, we call it, that allows you to kind of like draw an object to you and fling it at an enemy. But whenever you see the R1 or the L1 plus R1 appear over somebody's head, that's an ability to cast a very devastating and powerful ancient magic spell to do a ton of damage against the character. And the way that manifests itself depends on the type of enemy that you're fighting. And you'll see a wide variety of enemies in here that are pressuring the player in different ways. You'll notice there's abilities that kind of bubble up under the player as he's fighting that force him to move. And there's different ways that we want the player to kind of move around on the battlefield. And that's actually a good link to the ancient magic meter in general. And the reason why I say that is because as you're doing different things in combat...
Lássátok azt, amit mondtam, hogy pajzsa volt, és a írtott átokkal rendesen átütötte. Valójában lila mágiávuk ölött volna neki azt semlegesítenie.
So you see that combo appearing, and it's almost like your emotions are building up, and then basically that builds up enough that you can attack someone. But as the combo meter builds up, at some point you strike someone, and a piece of their magic kind of falls out of them. You'll see the blue orbs in the game world, and there's something that only you can see in the narrative, in the world. And it's another reason to move around on the battlefield. If you can go up and collect those things and suck them in, they give big jumps to that ancient magic meter as we're playing.
We're talking a lot about spells and magic here, but I think there's another huge component of combat, and that is the tools that you can bring to combat as well to kind of change the way you play. And I think Mackenzie knows a lot about what's going on with the plants and potions.
And so the tools are really interesting because they're basically like a prior investment. So you can bring the potions and the plants that you grow in the room.
Az a tyúk az amit mondtam, hogy ez ha telemegy ez a kék csík, akkor van 5 még különleges nagyobb varázslatot. Lyukkal változtat, fölrobban, megfagyaszt téged, villám és földnek vág.
Reduces the incoming damage that you're receiving. So against big enemies, hard-hitting enemies like trolls, that's super helpful.
Oh my God, he's just destroying. The troll just collapsed from one of the Kedavra.
Ez ilyen nagyobb páncélt ad neked, de ennek is van ugyebár cooldownja.
Having to balance Avada Kedavra with a long cooldown because obviously it's an instant kill. One thing that you could do is brew a focus potion, and that will increase how quickly you're.
Ugyebár ez még fölgyorsítja a cooldownt a varázslatoknak, szóval rohadt jó. Ebből jó párat fog kelleni majd gyártanom.
And the troll makes him move around too, looks like.
And I love that our plants are violent.
Yes, and so that's like when we were talking about the.
És az, amit mondtam az első Hogwarts-os videómban, hogy a herbológiból lesznek ilyen magok is mi segítenek neked a harcba.
So cool. This is like a truly like Hufflepuff-ian way to approach the battle. Yes.
No, that was super important to us, that there were these like multiple ways. And so you can see there's a ton of different things you can use. The Mandrake is one, so you can pull it out and it stuns with its like piercing cry these enemies in a radius.
And another thing I want to call out that we're seeing on the side of the screen here is these dueling feats, which I love because I love anything that prompts me to play a game in a different way, a unique.
Az jó, ott maradt a levegőbe.
Style, you know. And so this is a way to, if you want to get stuck in your style, go for it. If you just
az most robban.
Go for it. But we also want to have some things over here that may make you use certain plants or certain potions or block more or.
Yeah, we mentioned the field guide challenges in the prior stream, and the field guide challenges. This is the way that the field guide manifests like challenges for you to do in combat. And exactly to your point, we just wanted a way to encourage players to explore the different systems, to help them decide, to just kind of practice with them and explore what they want to be, because there really are so many different ways that you can push talents. When you see the green X's on characters, that's right, and that's kind of through your talents you can unlock this kind of cursing mechanic that sort of like links the fates of these different characters on the battlefield. That way, as you get as you're cursing different characters, they all begin sharing damage, and so we have things like Avada Kedavra, which is the insta-kill, but if you curse everyone before you insta-kill this one guy, they can all drop dead for that kind of ultimate Voldemort fantasy. And so, oh my God.
Az adja.
There are dark arts fantasies, there's fantasies about
azt kapta.
defense against the dark arts characters, things like that.
Ez a legjobb tyúkkal változtatja.
Occasionally being used on the battlefield, and we can also spec into our potions and plants to make them more powerful and more efficacious. So it's all about which type of player you feel like you are and whether or not you want to play with trap
Ugyebár ő impérió átok alatt volt, valójában az egy XY ideig átállítja hozzá. Nem baj, neked el van nézve, hölgyem, neked el van nézve minden is. Szia, szia.
And speaking of plants and potions, we are going to be putting the dark arts away, put those unforgivable curses away, and heading to the Room of Requirement, which is your home within Hogwarts, a personalizable space that actually has some utility as well.
Elértem a 56-ot, és most kezdtem el a Waking fegyverre a dolgokat csinálni a questet. Ez a hely lesz az, ahol fogsz tudni ültetni, potionököt csinálni, ruhát csinálni, dolgokat csinálni, valójában minden. És kint majd a állottjaid majd lesznek mit, majd a harc közben tudsz majd vinni is, harcba is.
Super important to us that this space really did feel like
ez nem gyerekjáték. Azt a olyat, ez nem gyerekjáték. Na, azért, na.
Different themes throughout, starkly different themes to really.
Lenézi, hogy gyerekjáték, azt a.
Oh my God, what? This is beautiful. We never expected that to be. Oh my God.
That's the thing, is not only can you change the architecture here, but you can actually conjure little objects into this space, as you can see.
Nem, gyerekjáték, ez valójában ez gyerekkorom játék, gyerekkorom filmiből egy játék lett. Inkább azt mondom.
Oh my god, because like we had an idea that those places where you brew stuff, that's where you can change, but you can do all of this. Where do you even get this stuff? Like, there's a furniture store?
Yeah, so we call them conjurations. And the conjuration recipes can be purchased at Tomes and Scrolls in Hogsmeade. But also as you engage in different types of gameplay throughout the world, you'll be rewarded
Nem a filmén, mert az mese volt.
You can change the color, you can change the size of it, and you can place it basically anywhere.
Ja, bom, igen. Pontosan, Balú kapitán, na.
And I love how the system too is designed. It's not mechanical; it's immersive, and so you get the magical effect of conjuring it in, and you're actually doing this in the world as your character. But
de szerintem a tiéd is, hogyha ennyire ismered.
The immersive design of personalizing the space.
Oh my god, like, and I love the animation, how it like appears, you know, like it's not just like there, it's like it almost like it apparates.
It is really quite beautiful.
Igen, néztem. Milyen szép, milyen helyes. Pontosan. Kérlek szépen, még van, mindjárt mondom, még egy olyan 10 perc. Tudsz annyit várni, vagy addig megszakítom? 10 perc. Oké, köszi szépen.
And these are the areas where, as we had mentioned previously, you'll be growing your plants, you'll be brewing your potions.
Right.
So while you're also doing these like kind of nurturing-based activities, this is also the space where you would bring your gear to be identified and.
Amúgy, ha összét, ha nem Kalmina, a kis sableán volt a kedvenc mesém. Ha összét, ha nem. Még a szépség és a szörnyeteg és a Aladdin, na ez a három, de a kis sableán volt a kedvencem. De ha már fölraktad így. Igen. No és itt lehet ruhákat majd fejleszteni. Azt, amit én emlékeztem, hogy lesz rendesen zöld, ez epic, rare és legendary. És ugyebár rakhatsz bele ilyen szoketeket, mondjuk úgy, és akkor minden egyes dolog más-más képességet ad. És az, ami még tetszik, hogy majd lesznek cuccok, például most előveszem a Diablót, hogy nem fogod tudni, és akkor itten kimutassa, hogy mi, hogyan, stb. De amúgy kíváncsi leszek majd a statokra, hogy majd fog-e adni. Kacsamesék, az.
And when you set up a loom, it's an ability to essentially customize exactly which magical properties are on your gear and take any piece of gear and adjust its properties and to tweak what it does. And I mentioned earlier that you can make anything look like
akkor ezek szerint engem leöregítesz.
Appearances, we call it, or cosmetics, we've been referring to it in this stream. Those types of things you can use, and you can apply a look to any other look. So if you get a piece of gear, you put it on, you look like that, but you can change it to look like whatever you want.
Én nálad idősebb vagy, miből gondolod?
You can just put some ability to this sweater, but then you can just swap that ability.
Yep, and appearances you can edit whenever you want in the gear screen. The loom is specifically about applying traits and applying larger upgrades that just kind of grant you greater statistical advantage or give you really specific abilities that blend nicely with where you're trying to go with your combat fantasy or talents and things like that.
Interesting. I'm just seeing that they're just like pumpkin fur, moonca fur. Where does that come from?
Yeah, and so you'll notice
no, látod, ide vagy oda.
Used to add traits and to upgrade your gear are based around beasts.
Néztem a pelenkából majdnem, hogy mentél már ki, én még éppen akkor mentem bele. Ennyi. Na, ez a kedvenc részem lesz. Ez a legszebb benne.
Oh my god, he's just like a big puppy.
They're so
cuddling. Oh my god, they're together. Oh, that's so cute.
Hogy én itt mit fogok itten leművelni ebbe itten, de komplet szépen megcsinálom.
as well, but feeding them too. And so once you do those things, that's when they feel safe enough that they'll give you their magical ingredients. So mooncalf fur, niffler fur, etc. That can then be used in your gear.
That is like so like intuitive because like you know that makes sense because when you touch the animals you get some fur leftovers. That's so. Oh my God.
Yeah, and we really want to hammer home the fact that this is like a home that you're making for them. So in the overland, you can find these beast dens and rescue these beasts. Part of doing so is brushing them and feeding them food as well, and to build that relationship with your beasts. In addition to be able to care for beasts, you can actually conjure things in this space as well.
The house, the cottage.
Yeah.
Macskát azt innen elrakom.
In this area, and a lot of them are purely cosmetic, but they look really cool. Again, it's the personalization.
Itt is kedvec szerint épp változtatható, csinálhatod, beépítheted bármi, szóval el lehet itt lenni elég sokat. Ezt a részt, a Hogwarts Mysterious játékból, telefonosból vették el.
And there's like a decoration aspect, but there's also, we were saying inside as well, is there's a utility aspect to it too. So as you progress in the game and you're able to purchase more conjurations, you're able to speed up your process. So one of them, for example, is the food processor, which allows for the beasts in the space to automatically get feed, so you don't have to do it manually. And so you're really building the progression for yourself here. In addition,
Szóval nem vagyok annyira öreg hölgyem.
Play with your beasts. You'll see here, yeah. So you can, there's a bunch of toys in it, and each beast has their own favorite toy. So as you can imagine, the mooncalf really likes the moon ball, or the Neasel, as like a little cat, really likes to chase the yarn ball as well.
Right.
And they're super cute.
Oh my God.
Watching them, it's so cute.
And the big thing we really wanted to hammer home is that the world is a dangerous place. And so by going and rescuing these beasts and bringing them back here and caring for them, you're really helping them out. There's poachers.
Halottoknak át lehet írni a nevét is, stb. El tudod vinni harcba is. Röpülhetsz vele úton, például ezért lehet lovagolni is, de harcolhatsz is vele, szóval...
You could actually name them as well, so like your dog.
So getting back into that personalization, you know, yeah, we didn't want you to just like throw in, oh, here's a Graphorn in here. Like, this can be named whatever Andrew's about to name them. Bruce.
Bruce. That's a good name.
You know, we've created this really nice space, and you can get additional vivariums, correct, to different kind of aesthetics and looks to where you're keeping your beasts and caring for them.
Progression is a big part of this space as well. So as you progress through the story, you will unlock more vivariums. So as you can see, this one's quite meadow themed, big, open, bright, but there's other ones, say like a swamp that you might encounter. And it's really a visual effect to and more space for your beasts.
Oh, so it's like those, so when we're inside the room requirement, there's like on the left, there's that moon glow from one entrance and then some shrubbery going on in the right.
Ezt is lehet szépen beépíteni. Amúgy erre kíváncsi leszek, ha este lesz, akkor itt is este lesz. Arra igen kíváncsi.
Another thing with the beast care that I think is great, you know, tying back to the same kind of thing that you did with like the broom, where the broom is not just a method of travel, it's actually built in and integrated into the world. In the same way, like beast care isn't just this added element. You're not just throwing it on top. There's really this like narrative and integration to
everything connects. So as you progress through the missions, you'll expand the space. As you earn resources, you'll go into Hogsmeade and use them to unlock the gameplay here and unlock new conjurations and different things to play around with. In the open world, it's in those different environments, like the different combat and conflicts and bandit camps and different things like that exist in the overland. Those things are what hold recipes that exist in the loom. So all these things have a way of connecting. Moonstone that you find out in the world is the resource that we use to conjure everything. That's found throughout the world. Forgeables are used for recipes. So really, everything's like a cycle and keeps you coming back.
But even with the story that's being told too, you know, I think people know who Poppy is and that she has a particular affinity.
Szóval egy szó, mint 100, engem ez a játék megvett, szóval ez nálam február 7-én forogni fog, pörögni. Egy jó 24 órásot biztos fogok dobni, és majd egy eredményjáték is lesz benne, szóval mindenkit várok rá, biztos. Egyik.
That just kind of make this all just kind of the beginning of your journey.
Well, we could spend hours in here, but we're gonna have to end the stream now. What do you think about what you've seen today?
I mean, I'm just so blown away by how beautiful it looks. The open world seems so detailed, and there's so many things to do. And like the combat, we're gonna spend like 2 weeks or more just breaking it down by pieces. There's just so much to this world. Like, I'm so happy you guys did this overall.
Igen, hallgatlak tovább.
Just the tip of the iceberg.
Hiába nézed adott live-ot, ingyen olyan is.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. Hogwarts Legacy is available for pre-order now. It releases February 10th with 72-hour early access for owners of the Collector's, Deluxe, and Digital Deluxe edition. We're gonna wrap things up, but first we've got a little surprise for you. Bye!
Ja, ezt meg tudom érteni, Kalmina. Na, nálam skacok. Ennyi lett volna. Hogwartos stream, stb. Visszarakjam a csúnya képemet. Visszarakom, jó? Na, nem tudom, hogy este hogy lesz, vagy mi lesz. Ennyi lett volna Hogwartos összefoglalós. A többi február 7-én lesz mindenképpen live. Szóval mindenkit rájössz, szeretettel várok. Ha netán valami játékmenet még volna februárig, akkor azt mindenképpen jólom, megosztom veletek, vagy ha valami újdonság jönne, mindenképpen megosztom. Még kitérnék arra a varázslatokra, amikor volt ott az a 3 főben járó bűn, mert a lead, a IMM még így terjednek olyan hírek, azok használhassák azt a 3 fő átkot, akik megveszik a Deluxe Edition-t, vagy a Collection. Nem igaz, időjetek be neki, mindenki tudja, mert azt ott egy quest adja. Az, aki ezeket terjeszti, annak nyugodtan írjatok be egy jó nagy bránért, mert az hazugság. Na de, netán nem találkoznánk, akkor mindenkinek kellemes boldog új évet, erőben gazdag, egészségben főleg, vigyázzatok magatokra. Köszönöm szépen ezt a évet. Itt volt a követést, a támogatást, a hülyéskedést. Még ez azoknak is szól, akik éppen nézik és lekövettek, vagy beírtak, mert dadogok még ez, az, hogy nekik is boldog új évet. Remélem találkozunk még velük is legközelebb is. Szóval legyetek jók. Találkozunk legközelebb. Ezt megvárom. Köszönöm szépen mindent.